Monotasking. It may just be the antidote to overwhelm. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're talking about the lost art of monotasking. It might just be an antidote to overwhelm. As you might have already gathered, mono means one. Think monobrow. So monotasking is, very simply put, the practice of fully dedicating yourself to one singular task at a time.
It requires you to intentionally limit distractions so you can focus specifically on one task at a time. It's basically the opposite to multitasking. Monotasking allows us to slow down and hyper-focus our brains. It can help us feel calmer and more at peace when we know we're intentionally honing in on the most important tasks.
Our stress levels can actually decrease when we focus on one thing at a time, compared to multitasking, where our attention is split across many different things at the same time, which can actually have a compounding effect of stress, dipping in and out of attention to complete different tasks, all whilst having our attention just that little bit split.
When we focus on one thing at a time, there's a sense of mindfulness that comes from focusing on that one specific thing. The opposite is true with multitasking, as our brain is not fully present. It's distracted, it's split, it's pulled in different directions.
Now, I'm not saying there's not a place for multitasking. I actually love multitasking. I always race to get the dishwasher unpacked by the time the microwave lets me know that the food is ready. I also try and get a load of washing on, our robot vacuum Anton off to clean the house, and take our dog for a walk at the same time. There's definitely a huge wave of satisfaction when you get multiple things teed up to be completed at the same time.
But sometimes it's this extra stimuli from multitasking and having many things on the go at the same time that it's actually not what we need when we're trying to reduce the feelings of overwhelm. Life can be overwhelming sometimes, and as much as I wish it wasn't the case, multitasking can add to that sense of overwhelm.
Coming home from a walk a little too sunburnt because you forgot your hat, because you were focused on putting the washing machine on before you left, only to find that you put way too much liquid in the washing machine, and now there's soap bubbles spilling out of the laundry window, all because you were too distracted trying to put on your robot vacuum before you left the house to take your dog for a walk. Well, how could you not be a tad more overwhelmed than you were beforehand, before you try to do it all and all at the same time? That's where multitasking can add to feelings of overwhelm rather than help.
There's a mindfulness that comes with focusing on only one thing at a time. It's undeniable. When we focus in on one thing at a time and be truly present, feelings of overwhelm can start to shrink away. I'm sure you know of at least one person in your life who still insists on doing the dishes by hand. If you've ever asked why, then you know exactly where I'm going with this. It's because a lot of the time, this is the one time in their day that they have to focus on only doing one thing: cleaning the dishes, feeling the hot soapy water glide over your hands, and scrubbing up your favorite pot nice and clean. It's like a form of mindfulness. There's a Zen-like state from focusing on only one thing at a time.
For you, it might not necessarily be the dishes that you like focusing on. Kinda like me, if I'm honest. It's different for everyone, and it's different based on what's happening in your life at the time too, and your level of overwhelm. I think for a lot of people, it's a warm shower at the end of a long day. It's when we get to switch off distractions and just be. Be with the water and the soap and wash away the day. It's recharging. It lowers stress, but it also might not if you've got your phone in with you, on the wall, watching a TV show, or a speaker blaring in the shower as you're listening to a podcast or the radio. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a time and place for everything. But it's important to know that that is when your shower time changes. It goes from one of monotasking to multitasking.
Again, nothing wrong with multitasking, but if you're trying to deal with feelings of overwhelm, well, multitasking isn't going to help much with that. Monotasking will though. We've talked about perhaps doing the dishes by hand with no distractions and taking a nice, long, warm shower with no distractions pulling you away from being present. Those are some of the ways you can tangibly use to decrease feelings of overwhelm. By being present, by not pulling your mind in a million different directions and just focusing actively on what's in front of you, feelings of overwhelm can ease.
There's even whole restaurants dedicated to exactly this. There's sensory deprivation meal times, where you sit in complete darkness with no music and just enjoy the food. And it's definitely on my list of things that I want to do one day. I've heard absolutely wonderful things about experiences like this, where you simply focus on the food and the food alone.
Despite the benefits of monotasking and the wonderfully tangible way it helps us reduce our feelings of overwhelm, I think it's become a lost art in a world of competing deadlines and endless distractions. So let's bring it back. Let's slow down and be more intentional with how we're using our time, what we're doing, and what we're not doing. Monotasking is the antidote to overwhelm.
The next time you're feeling overwhelmed, we hope that our message whispers in your ear and you try monotasking. We've truly found that it helps. As always, if you are struggling with your mental health or you're feeling that life is just too overwhelming, make sure you reach out to friends and family and professional help. We hope this message finds whoever needs to hear it when they need to hear it. We hope you enjoyed today's video and encourage you to try monotasking for just one thing today. Whether that be a jigsaw puzzle, the dishes, going for a walk, or even sitting down to write something like a YouTube script.
Have a wonderful day and we'll see you all next time. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe so we do see you next time. Ew.
We're humans, we just make mouth noises.
Yeah, and we're supposed
No,
to.
we know what
We know what they
saying.
mean.
Good luck to future editing people doing that. AKA us. Also, would you like me to make a spaghetti donut?
I'd love a spaghetti donut.
Make like just regular spaghetti but then make it in like a donut shape.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then bake it in the oven.
I like the sound of that. Spaghetti donut. In a world of competing.
Keep going.
Well, I have ways to distract you for the next one.